Hello and welcome to our generative AI presentation. Today we are Erica Prestipino, Destiny Cole, Sierra Roche, Siri Landers, and Miguel Sina, and we will be presenting on this topic. As we continue forth with our presentation, we're going to be going over the following topics. We're going to start off with an introduction and then give a brief history and timeline of generative AI, along with the uses and implications. We're going to talk and cover some of the relevant costs, benefit, and risks, and then we're going to end the presentation with the future trends. And we'll head right into it.
The first topic of our group presentation will be the introduction of generative AI. Hello, and welcome to our presentation on generative AI. In this segment, we'll dive into the fascinating world of generative artificial intelligence, exploring its definition, applications, and impact. At its core, generative AI refers to machine learning models that are trained to create new data rather than just making predictions based on existing data sets. Unlike traditional AI models that focus on analyzing and predicting outcomes, generative AI is designed to create new content, whether it's images, text, or other forms of data. The application of generative AI are vast and diverse, from creating synthetic image data to training computer vision models to designing novel protein structures for material science. Generative AI has revolutionized various industries doing such. It's also used in natural language processing, where it generates text that appears human written, as demonstrated by chatbots like OpenAI's ChatGPT. The impact of generative AI extends far beyond its technical capabilities. It has transformed the way we interact with technology, enabling new forms of creativity and innovation. From generating realistic images to composing music and even writing stories, generative AI has opened up a world of possibilities. On this slide, we are going to go over a few of the types of generative AI, and we will be exploring the different categories and methods within generative artificial intelligence, uncovering their unique features and applications. Our first type of generative AI we are going to go over is variational autoencoders, or VAEs. These models learn to encode input data into a lower dimensional space and then decode it back to its original form, generating new data points. VAEs are widely used in image generation tasks and detection. The next type is generative adversarial networks, or GANs. They consist of two neutral networks, a generator and a discriminator, that compete against each other in a game-like setting. The generator creates realistic data samples, while the discriminator tries to distinguish between real and fake samples. GANs are popular for generating images, videos, and even text. Next, we have autoregressive models. These models generate data sequentially, where each element is conditioned on previous elements. Autoregressive models are commonly used in natural language processing tasks, such as language generation and machine translation. Lastly, we have flow-based models. These models learn to transform a simple input distribution into a more complex output distribution. Flow-based models are known for their ability to generate high-quality images and are often used in image synthesis tasks. In a previous slide, we've seen a chart on a couple apps and how long it took those apps to reach 100 million users. And if you notice, at the top of that list was ChatGPT. And here I included an image of ChatGPT's response to what is generative AI. So here I wanted to talk a little bit about what ChatGPT is and a few other things related to it. So in this segment, we'll dive into how ChatGPT works, a cutting-edge language model developed by OpenAI. It interprets and understands generative artificial intelligence as well as its widespread popularity. So first, let's see what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is an advanced language model based on the GPT, which is Generative Pre-trained Transformer architecture developed by OpenAI. It has been trained on a vast amount of text data from the internet and is capable of generating human-like text responses. ChatGPT works by processing input text and generating relevant and coherent responses based on the context provided. It uses deep learning techniques to understand the structure and semantics of the input text, allowing it to generate responses that mimic human language patterns and logic. ChatGPT has gained immense popularity due to its remarkable ability to generate text that is indistinguishable from human written content. It has been widely adopted across various applications, including customer service chatbots, virtual assistants, content generation, creative writing, etc. The user-friendly interface and natural conversation flow of ChatGPT has made it a favorite among developers and businesses seeking to leverage the power of generative AI in their applications. Its versatility and adaptability have cemented its position as a leading language model in the field of artificial intelligence. On this slide, we will look into the concepts of informational systems and informational technology, their differences, and their roles in modern organizations. Informational systems refer to the combination of people, processes, and technology that work together to manage and process information within an organization. On the other hand, informational technology encompasses the hardware, software, networks, and infrastructure used to support IS and other business operations. IS plays a crucial role in helping organizations collect, store, process, and distribute information to support decision-making in business processes. It includes components such as databases, enterprise resource planning systems, customer relationship management systems, and business intelligence tools. IT, on the other hand, focuses on the technology infrastructure and resources needed to support IS and other business functions. This includes hardware components like computers, servers, and network equipment, as well as other software applications and systems used to manage and secure data. While IS and IT are closely related, there are some key differences between the two. IS encompasses a broader range of components, including people and processes, while IT specifically refers to the technology aspect. IS is more focused on the strategic use of information to achieve organizational goals, whereas IT is more concerned with the technical implementation and management of technology resources. On this slide, we are going to go a little bit deeper into the role of IS in IT and generative AI in modern organizations. Information systems and technology are the backbone of modern organizations, serving as the infrastructure that supports various business functions. IS and IT facilitate the collection, storage, processing, and dissemination of information critical for decision-making, communication, and operations. IS encompasses a wide range of applications, including ERP systems, CRM software, BI tools, and more. Meanwhile, IT infrastructure includes hardware components like computers, servers, network devices, and software application. Generative AI is revolutionizing how organizations interact with data and generate new insights. Unlike traditional AI models that make predictions based on existing data, generative AI can create new data, images, text, and even music. The capability opens up new possibilities for innovation and creativity in various industries. Generative AI has diverse applications across industries. In healthcare, it can be used to generate synthetic medical images for training diagnostic algorithms. In media and entertainment, it powers content creation tools that generate realistic images, videos, and music. In marketing, it could enable personalized content generation, and recommendation systems. The synergy between IS and IT and generative AI is transforming how organizations operate and innovate. IS IT infrastructures provides the foundation for storing and processing data, while generative AI enhances decision making by generating new insights and solutions from this data.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the history and timeline of generative AI. So if we look at our timeline here, really generative AI essentially started back in the 1950s with the famous Alan Turing, which has been involved in a lot of movies and history overall regarding computing technology. But really, that started the quote-unquote generative AI concept with the Turing test to really determine machines' human ability. And from there, things slowly started trickling with Stanford research creating a robot with self-reasoning called Shaky. Then IBM really got involved from a corporate side perspective in creating things that would defeat chess players and outsmart individuals in that sense. And then really when we speed up the timeline and we get into the mid to early 2000s here, right? One big development was Siri getting into the mix. That's in theory a form of AI, right? Or intelligent personal assistant. And then really things started taking off from a public perspective once 2019's 20s hits from ChatGTP and OpenAI really releasing things out to a broader spectrum and improving such as image processing and text processing from language models for generative AI. So that really leads to major evolutions and milestones. Really, as we talked about in the timeline, consumer exposure really opened up in the 2022s, 2023s, with OpenAI kind of leading the charge from a public perspective. And this really led to a rise of AI tools from content creation in GitHub and Copilot, for example, and then really opening up more of an impact from just consumer use to then talking about a social impact and economic impact now that's going to affect humans in the future, and then really speeding up innovation going forward from really mid 2022 to 2023 and beyond, and being applied to all sectors of mostly human life. And really where we are with AI now is just massive, rapid growth. Every company really has dove into it, especially since the emergence of really kicking off in the 2022s, reaching 100 million users pretty rapidly, as we saw from the beginning charts. It took about 2 months for OpenAI to reach 100 million users, which has never been seen before in any trend or industry. And that's going to keep leading to more innovations with Google's Gemini coming in, DALL-E, things of that nature, and other companies just competing and improving AI on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. So that being said, I'll pass it along to users and implications.
We will now begin the third section, uses and implications of generative AI. Looking at the common AI generators, we see text, audio, image, and video. So looking at some of the common text generators, we see Jetpack AI and ChatGPT, which I'm sure everybody knows. We see for audio, Lovell AI and Kits AI as a few of those. For image, we see DALL-E 3 and Adobe Firefly. And for video, we see Descript and Sora, which I'm sure also everyone has heard of with the infamous super high quality videos, which are starting to cause some ethical implications for humans right now. So now we're going to take a look at some specific uses for generative AI. Specifically, we're going to look at these 4 industries: gaming, business, science/healthcare, and education. So let's jump right in. Looking at how AI can impact the gaming industry, we see that it has the ability to usher in a new era of gaming through innovation, experience, and limitless possibilities that it can provide by propelling effective game development and delivering more adaptive experiences. AI has the ability to improve the visuals and graphics quality in games using AI upscaling. AI upscaling at its core is a technique that takes a low-resolution image and transforms it into a higher-resolution image with a similar appearance. This technique allows developers to bring new life into older games and allow those playing on older hardware to enjoy a higher quality image output than they could before. The most valuable and transformative use of AI in gaming is what they do for the non-playable characters, or NPCs for short. In traditional games, NPCs are pre-programmed with behaviors and actions that are determined by automated rules the player has no control over. However, with AI, these characters have the ability to interact even more realistically, adding to the immersion of games and even enabling each individual player to experience a unique, personalized version of the game they are playing. AI in business can increase innovation, productivity, and outcomes while simultaneously making work easier for employees. This is because AI can perform all the mundane, redundant tasks so workers can focus their efforts on critical thinking, leadership, and complex problem solving, all challenging aspects of work for machines to emulate. Taking a look at 3 specific use cases, we see that for customer service, AI can provide a host of benefits to improve customer satisfaction and performance. AI can automate and create personalized responses to common inquiries both pre and post sale, reducing response times and costs. Automating elements of the customer service journey can help to increase capacity and speed in which customers are served. However, it is important to ensure that the quality of the service is still maintained. In marketing, AI has powerful implications in content creation, where it can be trained with on-brand content in order to mimic the style of the company when developing new high-quality content rapidly and on demand. Big data coupled with artificial intelligence and powerful analytics programs can also help to create multiple versions of the same content campaign in order to appeal to all target audiences individually. We have seen this utilized by online retailers to help tailor personalized products and even create personalized advertisements. But caution is needed as people can be very protective of their data and are trusting companies to use it safely. In e-commerce, we see that AI has started to play an increasingly more important role. Its applications are ranging from supply chain logistics to intelligent personal assistance, similar to what we saw from customer service. A major component for starting an e-commerce business is to have a website. Making a website can be challenging, but as we saw in the textbook, with Wix, it is a breeze. Wix starts by taking the basic information of the user and what they are looking for from their website and actually uses AI to create the website for them. From there, the users have a multitude of website tools to utilize to craft and develop the perfect website to start their e-commerce business journey. One area that AI is likely to have the most positive impact for society is in science and healthcare. AI has the ability to accelerate the drug discovery process while also reducing developmental costs. It can do that through its ability to analyze extensive sets of biological data very rapidly so researchers can identify disease-associated targets and predict those interactions with potential drug candidates. AI can also help to optimize the research and development process through machine learning algorithms that can predict the toxicity of drug candidates, reducing the need for animal testing. AI can transform healthcare through its ability to improve automated systems and enhanced clinical decision making. AI can be used to supplement expertise in the diagnosis, providing a timely, more personalized approach to healthcare. AI also has the capacity to improve billing, diagnosis, treatment, and research to make healthcare delivery more efficient and effective for patients, as well as making these services more affordable at a higher level of care than can currently be offered. In education, we see that AI has the ability to mitigate the challenges that international students face by providing them with language support and accessibility features. AI can also help to serve as a personal tutor/assistive learning tool, which would benefit all learners, but in particular could help to level the playing field for those students with disabilities. AI could serve as a personal note taker for a student who needs help taking notes. There has been concerns, however, around AI as the tool could be used to cheat in academic programming, which would threaten the integrity of these institutions. While there are currently tools that try to check for AI in academic papers, oftentimes these detectors misclassified the papers written by non-native English speakers as being AI generated when they were not. From our textbook, an example of AI utilized in education comes from a rather infamous company, Duolingo. Duolingo, initially a web-based service and now mobile app, is a language learning platform that offers over 40 languages for people to learn free of charge. Duolingo is a very data-driven company, and they utilize sophisticated artificial intelligence to drive better learning for its users. Using data from over 500 million lessons, it trains sophisticated machine learning algorithms to improve learners' efficiency for its users. One example is BirdBrain, which is used to predict the probability that a given learner will get the answer right or wrong. Duolingo then uses BirdBrain to craft lessons to cater to the specific user's learning proficiency and at the appropriate level of difficulty for them. Now, I'm going to pass it over to Destiny, who's going to talk to you about relevant costs, benefits, and risks.
Hi, my name's Destiny, and I'm going to be talking about the relevant costs, benefits, and risks associated with generative AI. So when it comes to the costs associated with generative AI, there was this quote that I found that I really wanted to explain a little bit because I think it represents it pretty well. So the quote is, "There are many different costs associated with implementing AI. These include hardware costs, software costs, labor costs, and more. The total cost of implementing AI also depends on multiple factors like the size of your startup and industry type." So when looking at this, it kind of like gives you a pretty good overall understanding of costs associated with AI. Obviously, each individual platform and specific program that you are working with is going to cost slightly different, but these are generally what's going to be associated with the costs. If you look a little lower on the screen, it will show you the difference between like getting a custom AI solution, so something specific for your company, compared to an existing AI one. So a custom one would obviously cost you a little bit more because it's specialized for your needs. But an existing one is lower, it's just generalized. If you look a little lower on the screen, these are basically all the different costs that could be associated with it. So, for example, development costs, they're kind of the most significant part of the overall budget because it includes the cost of designing and building the AI system. It depends on the complexity of the AI application, the technology used, and the time taken to develop the system. Um, so, like a simple AI chatbot could be developed in a few weeks and cost a few $1,000s, but a complex one, like a car, that can drive itself, may take years. Another cost is data-related cost. So the quality and quantity of the data that they use can impact the performance. Another one is infrastructure costs. These ones can kind of vary depending on the size and complexity of the AI system. So while a simple AI chatbot can run on a single server, a complex one may require a data center, basically. There's also operational costs, which are like the cost of running the AI system. So this could be electricity, cooling, and other kinds of overheads. And lastly, human resource costs. They can contribute significantly because this includes the cost of like hiring and training the staff to develop and manage the AI system. It's pretty complex, the amount of skills you need to like maintain it. That's why right now AI professionals are in pretty high demand. So obviously there's going to be a couple different ways that you can estimate costs. The first one that I want to mention is the top-down approach. Basically the broad view of the project and breaking it down into like smaller, more detailed components. And it's basically more of a macro level method. So think of the overall goals of the project with that budget and your timeline. It's used earlier on in the planning stages when you don't have all the details already. But sometimes this is going to be slightly inaccurate if your estimates are not done properly, because most of your data that you're using is historical. The other approach that you can take for estimating costs would be the bottom up. So this is more of a detailed process compared to the top down approach. Basically, you're working your way up to create a comprehensive cost estimate. It's more accurate compared to the top down approach, as it's considering like each component of the project, but it takes a long time to do so. And you really have to understand what the project's requirements are to get this done. It's usually used in the later stages of a project because you have more information about what that project is. Finally, I'm going to talk about the benefits associated with generative AI. So one of the first things is that there's enhanced creativity and innovation. Usually this is fueled because it's producing fresh and imaginative content. It also empowers like creators and artists to break free from regular patterns and to explore different novel concepts. And by doing like a wide range of outputs, whether it's from artwork, music, generative AI really like inspires innovative ideas that haven't been conceived otherwise. So it's pushing boundaries. The second thing is automation of repetitive tasks. Obviously, we get pretty bored of doing the same thing over and over again, which generative AI helps and doing these monotonous tasks and freeing up some of our human personnel to do more complex endeavors. So whether this is product descriptions, making emails, designing layouts, it's really helpful there. Another one is personalization and customization. So as we talked about, there's more general AI systems that you can use, but you also can make it hyper personalized. So you can tailor your content to like individual preferences. And lastly, I want to talk about improved decision-making processes. It's very helpful because if you have good enough data, you'll be able to make your processes better with your decision-making processing because you can use diverse perspectives and insights, and it allows the individual who's actually going to make the decision to make it a more informed and well-rounded choice, because you don't have to make the exact decision that the AI is producing, but it gives you more information. And the more information you have, the better your answer can be.
Thanks for that section, Destiny. In this section, we're going to go ahead and talk about future trends, and we're going to hit a few of the big main ones and go into detail. For AI, the top trends for 2024 through 2025 are natural language processing, or NPL, computer vision, healthcare, and multimodal AI models. And those are the four main ones we're going to be talking about, although there are multiple others. But these are the four big ones that we will be talking about and that will have the biggest impact, and that we're already seeing and that we will be seeing in the next year or so. The first one of the trends we're going to talk about is natural language processing, which is a way for computer to speak human language, which includes like influx and like just like different tones and voices that different like humans use on a regular basis. And so with this new trend in the future use, AI and computer softwares are going to now have the ability to not only just speak and have conversations like in a way where like us as humans can understand it, but it's also going past that and including influx and be able to use that into the uses of the technology and in responses. And it also influences other aspects of computers and AI. For an example, when you're using like automated like messages like ChatGPT, with the use of natural language processing, they're able to insert a code where the response is able to give you more human-like answers, even though your responses, from example, ChatGPT is coming from a computer. It's able to include those human like influxes like and like just different tones as a person normally would when you're talking face to face. In the past, computers were only able to understand and like decode the language and give a response. But now with the new machines and new technology and intelligence, we're able to go from just text as it sits in its natural state to influxes and different in a different extent as a whole in this idea of natural language processing and processing it as a whole. Now we have computer vision, which is very important specifically for a manufacturing industry. Computer vision goes into allowing computers to interpret information from images and videos and acting on that information and doing the respective follow through with knowing that information. So for an example, it boosts defect detection in manufacturing. So they're able to basically use a tracking system and track every step of the production process. And if any step is missed or something is done out of order, an alarm is set and it goes off. It also knows how long a production cycle should take and can detect failures if the cycle runs too fast. And so this is really important, not only just in manufacturing, but in also other settings. As you can see in the chart that I have for you on the screen, it's used in hospital settings, in performance evaluating and evaluating the efficiencies and reducing staff numbers. It's used for genuinely everything, and it goes so much more in depth than the normal computer visions that we've seen in the past. And they've found the technology that actually is able to monitor multiple different areas and not only just monitor one area, but have a follow through and have follow-up systems that go along with it. One of the big trends that we see is healthcare, and even you can start seeing it be used nowadays in just the beginning of 2024 that we've had. With the pandemic, hospital staff turnover actually grew from 6.4% to nearly 26% now. And with that huge turnover and with that huge increase of jobs, AI is actually helping that a lot, and it's helping speed up the process for hiring, and it actually increases the accuracy. And you don't only see it in healthcare, but you're seeing it in a lot of the other industries as well. But this is specifically talking about hospitals and how this is actually helping hospitals so much with the increase of AI. An example is they're actually able to now take handwritten data and handwritten notes from doctors and nurses and scan them and actually convert it into text notes and identify patient problems. And you do an actual research study with scanning it through the system. And so AI is helping and doing a big shift in the healthcare system, specifically with its aid and staffing and helping the shortage actually shrink from the now 26% that it has come to prior pandemic. It's also helping hospitals not only with the scanning of text notes and turning that into actual notes online, but it's also helping with the patient flow and developing pharmaceutical drugs and keeping and analyzing data and patient records. It genuinely goes from the beginning of when you enter the hospital to spending less time in the ER waiting room, so more people are treated in a timely manner, to the actual prognosis and the diagnosis of whatever sickness it is. So AI is helping in those hospital instances, and the healthcare industry specifically, with such a large shortage that we're seeing now prior pandemic, that the AI system and having this new technology and new advancements that we can now use in a lot of everyday stances, that's actually helping a lot of the doctors and a lot of other healthcare workers actually make their jobs easier and be able to make the hospital visits all in all more better experience for a lot of people. The last big advancement that we have for the 2024-2025 year as related to AI is multimodal AI models, which is not only is enhancing the performance within a specific domain, but also within multiple types of data and inputs, which basically means that it's more intuitive and versatile AI application along with virtual assistants. Any kind of user can, for an example, like ask about imaging and receive a natural language answer, which is not as computer and computerized robotic answer like we've seen before, which pulls into the natural language processing that we discussed earlier in this presentation, and how, because of the natural language processing and this improvements and trends of improvements that we're seeing, or we will be seeing in the upcoming year or so, it's also influencing the multi-model AI models. Along with that, it's more like I mentioned, intuitive and versatile. You can use it for multiple different uses, like ask aloud instructions to repair something, or visual aid for step-by-step instructions, or text instructions. It's so versatile and used that in any instances, in any career path can use this. On a higher level, multimodal AIs allows for a model to process more diverse data inputs, enriching and expanding the information available for training and interferences. And so it offers a more holistic learning experience for the user. And so multi-modeled AI models are an all-around big improvement and a big trend that we're going to see in this upcoming few years, which will also include a lot of the prior topics that I just talked about in this section. That's all that we have for you for this presentation. Thank you so much for listening to our generative AI presentation. Here are a list of our references that we've used all throughout the article.